Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says they will ascend, these angels will ascend to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on a day, the length of which will be 50,000 years. How many years? 50,000 years will be this day for them. In some verses of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to the length of the day of judgment as how many years? This verse. It says 50,000 years in this verse. Another verse of the Quran, you'll find it as وَإِنَّ يَوْمًا عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ كَأَلْفِ سَنَةٍ مِمَّا تَعُدُّونَ ذَلِكَ عَالِمُ الْغَيْبِ وَالشَّهَادَةِ الْعَزِيزُ الرَّحِيمُ. In the 21st verse of the Quran, in Surah Alif Lam Mim As-Sajda, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to the day of judgment as 1,000 years. How many years? But in this verse, Allah refers to the day of judgment, the length of being how many years? 50,000 years. This is a very common objection the Orientalists or the non-Muslims make against the Muslims. They say your Quran has contradictions. And this is a very clear contradiction they make. They say that in one verse of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that it will be 1,000 years. And the other verse of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the day of judgment will be 50,000 years. So make your mind up, is it 1,000 years? Is it 50,000 years? So with regards to this, the scholars have given different answers. They say that that day of judgment will be of different lengths based off different people. For certain people, the Prophet ﷺ actually says in one hadith that the day of judgment's length for those people who are righteous, for those who did good, for those who didn't do wrong, the length of the day of judgment won't even be a day. What does he say? The Prophet ﷺ says, for the people who did good in this world, the length of the day of judgment won't even be a day. Forget a day. The hadith mentions it will be the amount, how long it takes a person to read a quick salat. You know, you pray salat and you're over. That's, you know how when you go to Six Flags, you have that, what do they call it? The special pass you have? Fast pass. Luqman's been before. Okay? He paid for it as well. The fast pass. Where you know when you go to the fast pass, you ask one brother, how long did it take you to stand in line for, I don't know, whatever ride there is. There's some famous ride, okay? And he says, oh, it took me 3 hours. Then you ask Luqman, how long did it take you? 5 minutes. I was in and out. So how did it take him 3 hours and him 5 minutes? The line is based on whether you're a VIP or a local person. If you're a VIP, then go right through. But if you're a local person, then wait in line. Wait for your turn to come. So the same thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions here. That the scholars, they mention here, by clarifying this, they say that هُوَ يَوْمُ الْقِيَامَةِ جَعَلَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ مِقْدَارَ 50,000 سَنَةً. That this day of judgment being 50,000 years. How long? Not 50 years. How many years? 50,000 years. 50,000 years. This will be for those people who disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For those who haven't done good, their day of judgment is going to be very long. And that, you already know you're a crook. You already know you're guilty. But waiting in line for you to be called out guilty and you have to wait for 50,000 years, imagine that punishment within itself. The anticipation. In Arabic they say, Al-intidharu ashaddu min al-maut. They say, Al-intidhar ashaddu min al-maut. That waiting is worse than death. Sometimes you tell your friend, what time are you going to pick me up? He says, 5 minutes. And he shows up 2 hours later. You know that anticipation you get? Or you tell your spouse, how long are you going to pick me up in? Your wife says, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And then you're waiting, 5 minutes pass by, 10 minutes, now you're getting a little upset. 15 minutes, now you're getting frustrated. Half an hour, now you're swearing. 1 hour later, you're thinking, I'm going to choke her when she comes. 2 hours later, you said, I'm going to get the bus. And then when she does come, you say, I'm not getting in the car. You made me wait for 2 hours? Yes or no? That anticipation kills you. So that's why in Arabic they say, Al-intidhar ashaddu min al-maut. That waiting is actually worse than death. You'd rather die than wait for someone, without having the reason to wait. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the kuffar, a form of punishment for them will be that they will have to wait 50,000 years. And some scholars say the wait of 50,000 years is actually going to be for the one who in the world says to Allah, give me your punishment. He couldn't wait in the world. Allah's going to say, come here and now wait 50,000 years before I even talk to you. You guys understand that? But for the one who was, who did good deeds, the one who worked for his akhirah, the one who really put his effort in, for him that will be a quick breeze. The other way of looking at it is like this. When there's something good to look forward to, time flies. Yes or no? When you're looking forward to something good that's going to happen. You know that you're going to go for Hajj. There's 1 month left. How fast does that 1 month pass by? Anyone who's been to Hajj, remind yourself of the first time you went for Hajj and there were 30 days left. Did you even realize those 30 days went by? No. They just flew by, you don't even realize it, and time's gone. And Hajj is done, those beautiful moments are gone. Because when you look forward for good things, the time just passes by. Because you're so excited about it. That's how some scholars explain this by saying that the Day of Judgment may be 50,000 years for one person, but for another person, it'll only feel like a few seconds. Because that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easier for that person.